the COMiX newsroom. It's time to get you wired in and get your daily dose of the COMiX news, hosted by Mr. Anderson, who is the unboxable, uncanny, advocating creator who will tempt you with his devilish tales of fetish monsters and more. Join him and his co-hosts as they give you the news coming off the COMiX News Wire. Brought to you in association with... Subscribe to IndieVolt.com to recharge your fandom and to get an education. Be sure to check out all of the IndieVolt programming on the Nines with hosts like Randy Zimmerman, The Kid, Varian Grant, The Indie Princess, with more hosts and shows to come.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another news program. We have a special guest to start off our show today. Welcome in, creator. Well, you're doing great, by the way. I checked out your Indiegogo. You're really doing something on the in-demand part of it. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, I'm Ines Iskander. I'm the writer and creator of Ava, and I've currently got an in-demand campaign going on Indiegogo to release. We're in the process of printing our first issue. Hooray! I literally sent it to printers last night. It was this morning at 3:00.
Isn't that like one of the most nervous moments? You're like, do I hit the button now or did I forget something? Let me look again.
Yes, it was absolutely exactly. I must have checked it, I don't know, about 20 times, proofread it until my eyes bled. I had about 3 or 4 people read it as well, and they picked up on a few mistakes. And then it was a case of having to go back and forth with Timothy because he's done the lettering now. He's let me keep my sound effects. He ended up doing it, and then I realized what I was doing wrong just by seeing how he's done it. It was the spacing that was, because I let the illustrator let me do this. Sorry, I let Illustrator do the spacing, and then lo and behold, that's how you do it.
They're little tricks. I mean, ultimately, it looked like a great product. I can't wait to get my copy, obviously. We're super excited. I know that there's nothing like it. I mean, you've had a kid, so you'll understand this. It's like a newborn. The minute you touch it, you're gonna be holding a newborn in your hand.
Oh, absolutely. It is a really scary thing because, once you send it to the printers, the last thing you want is, for something to go, that there's something wrong with it. And, it's your baby. You've nurtured it, and now you're gonna let it walk out into the world, and it was really nerve-wracking. And I know I said I was going to send it out in August, but because of the relettering, it's been delayed. I've put down like 7th of September. It's all going to get shipped out. I've sorted out the merchandise. I've actually got the art prints and the postcards here, and they look really good. So that's your postcards.
Oh, wow, look at those.
So yeah, and they look so good at the back because each one has got like a name and what page it comes from, and then this is the art print, which I may do as a variant cover at some point.
I really think that would be a moneymaker. I think you need to go to Kickstarter and introduce it to the Kickstarter audience, show that cover off, make money.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and we finally got the drawstring bags as well. They came in just a few days ago, and they look really good. It's kind of natural. I'd say it's like a natural fabric, and it looks really good.
It's a pretty big bag too.
Yes, exactly. You can use it for anything, basically.
At the show,
you can stash your toys in there.
in the U.S., people would use that at cons and stuff too, being grab bags. So
yeah, exactly. It's great for it's great for putting all your little merchandise bits as you're collecting them along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you a question. Since you've gone off the crowdfunding aspect of it, you're now gaining momentum in a very impressive way. I have to congratulate you. You've been able to keep the momentum going beyond that. How's that experience been?
Oh, I mean, you know me. When I first started out doing these shows, I was really nervous because it was so out of my comfort zone. I mean, especially with the video, that was the first time I've ever done anything like that. I wasn't really comfortable doing it, but I knew that was the only way that I could really get my story across. And people when they get to know me, they get to know a little bit about the comic. And you know, sort of now I've kind of, you know, found my strides, and I'm doing a lot of these shows because they're loads of fun, actually. You know, it's just like talking to, you know, a friend of yours, and especially during, it's actually afternoon here. But yeah, good morning, Meredith. Yeah, it's more like you guys.
Evening, right?
Sorry?
You're going into evening now, as it is.
Well, yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, which is a nice change from being like 3 or 4 in the morning.
I was like, oh look, there's sun in England. I was like, oh yeah, we only see her.
Oh yes. It's just started raining again. So yeah, we've had quite a number of days of rain. We're so over it now. I even thought about putting the heating on yesterday. It was so bad.
Meredith says, I'm just slurping down my first cup of coffee, LOL.
Oh yeah, no, this is my 3rd caffeine drink because I think I had a nap on the. You should have seen me like half an hour ago. I was napping on the sofa because I was just completely after lunch and just crash, you know.
Well, you're up till 3 o'clock doing that pacing. Do I hit the button? Am I ready? Am I ready?
No, and I kept pestering Timothy. I said, are you sure it's okay now? And I kept sending him JPEGs. What do you think now? Does the spacing look okay? You know, we were just, yeah. I think he never wants to talk to me again.
That's what no one,
space woman.
Well, no one, unless you're a creator and you're an obsessive creator, because no matter what you do, I'm going to warn you, there'll be a mistake.
Yeah, no, I know.
Little, because remember, Marvel and DC, you find mistakes in.
Yeah.
It's an impossible thing to never have a mistake. More than likely, it's going to be a small, minor one.
I think it's like when you're indie, it's like there's so much more pressure on you to make sure that you're delivering a better product because you're just starting out. You want to make the right impression. You want to do right by your fans, and you know, it's kind of like, yeah, I need to get this right. I'm just sat there like Mr. Magoo, you know, with my glasses on, trying to get, you know, make sure every little thing is spot on. You know, like even at the last minute, I found like an extra space between the words, and it was like, wow, you know, how many times have I read it and I missed it? And then, you know, you find it. Yes, I am obsessed. I pick up on millimeters of spacing. So it was a little traumatic this morning.
I've sent it to the printer and then pulled it back and been, hold on, I had to make one change. So my printer, like he always goes, "Are you ready, Rob?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready."
The funny thing, the printers that I've got is that, you know, even though you've gone to payment, then they're like, are you sure you want to like send it? Do you want a little bit more time? You know, because you can just put it on hold for like, you know, a day or two, just in case. And, you know, I'd sort of scanned over it. I lost count. And then I kept changing the files to update it because there was the cutting was not in the right place. I wasn't happy with it. And then I'd have to like sort of proofread it again. And oh my goodness, it was just, yeah, I think my eyes are bleeding right now. they look okay, but deep down I just feel like I can't, everything's blurry right now. I'm seeing you blurred.
I've been there. We're like, you spend half the day. Like, I hope I don't have to drive far.
You're like going around cross-eyed.
And Pop says, "Hi." What you have to learn is zooming it on your computer. I learned that like 2 years in. Just zoom out in the computer and lean back so you don't have the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yes. Everything now has gone like into Zoom.
And you're like, wait a minute, does that look, what if I just, and you're playing with the spacing, you know, when you go into the spacing and you start making it smaller and bigger, you don't think it looks good.
by making imaginary space bar thing. You'll learn. You can, wait, no, I want to space it just a little bit more, but it can't be at 12 PT. It's got to be at 3 PT. Let me see how it looks.
Oh, I know. That was what happened with the bag. You know, I was like, because the logo isn't centralized. Normally in Illustrator, you have the centralizing, you know, kind of the alignment tool, so it does it for you. But then when you've got something that's technically has to be done by eye, it's like, do I nudge it up one cursor, or do I leave it as it is? And I must have spent an entire afternoon over one cursor space, you know, and I was just like, okay, I've had enough of this. I'm just leaving it as is. I'm walking away from this now. Sod it, you know, I'm going. just yeah, it's fine.
But it's still in your mind.
It.
It's still in your mind. It's the one thing you're like, I really hope that's okay.
Yeah,
no one will notice it, but you.
No, I got to a point where it's like, I'm not going to look at it. You know, I'm not going to, you know, I'll just look at it, glance at it, but I won't obsess over that spacing anymore. It's done now. And nobody else will notice it. Nobody else will think, oh, is that spacing right? It's literally, I'm talking about maybe even less than a millimeter. Hi, Pops, by the way.
I've been there. I've been there with you. I've looked at it and been like, no one's going to know this. And I'm like, but I'll know it. And if I know it, it's a problem. Someone else is going to find it. They're going to look for it.
I think we should start a group, you know, where you kind of feel, you know, sort of less of a freak when you're around people who think like you. It's like, it's therapeutic, you know, you hold hands. It's like, yes, it's okay. That millimeter, you know, is not gonna kill you. You got to let it go.
See, now we all look polished at this point in the after shows. That's when the real things happen, and you see creators be like, "I can't, it won't go to the place it's supposed to. I don't know what to do." And everyone looks at it, they're like, "No, it's okay." And they're like, "No, look at this one spot." And everyone goes, "I understand what you mean. We've all been here."
I know, you start obsessing over it, and it's like, oh, you know. And then I think when I realized if I obsess over something, I'm just going to end up making it worse. So just embrace the imperfection. If it is 80% there, you know, you're 80% happy with it, then it's fine. Everyone else is going to see it as perfection, you know, because you're the creator and it's your project and you've been staring at it so hard that, you know, it's kind of like you want it to be as good as it can be, but other people are like, yeah, it looks great, what's wrong with it, you know? So yeah, it is trying to like trying to sort of condition yourself not to be so obsessive and to engage yourself to being more productive. Hence why it took me so long to get to this. I'm now embracing being a productive creator, not a procrastinating one.
Well, now you're at that point where it's okay, everything's done. So you have the choice, and the two different type of creators. I'm going to guess the one you are. There's the creator who will put out their work and they'll wait and they'll hear feedback and they'll decide to make changes. And there's the second one who's like, okay, it's off at printer. Let's start the second script. Let's start talking production. If not, already started in production with the second issue. I'm going to guess you're already in production with issue number 2.
In the back of my mind already, we've been talking about doing like character cards. So you have like face on shots and then profile shots, and then it gives you sort of the details and their kind of small backstory and all that. And that will help us as well as the reader, you know, really sort of fine tune the characters and the story as it goes along, because it is a bit like, you know, Game of Thrones. There's just so many characters that you can easily get lost. And I had the idea of having all their profiles lined up to create like a banner, and I just, you know, it just in my head looks really epic. And then also I had 2 people suggest that I do a map of the world. Again, a bit like Game of Thrones. A friend of mine's also, she's written a book, it's called The Sisters Grimm, and it's set in Cambridge, and she always writes about sort of witchcraft, and so she's got a little map at the start of her book. So it seems like really everyone loves the idea of having this personalized map to go with the story. So that's on the cards. And then I've got to I've already got the script for issue 2, so it's just a case of polishing it up and then, you know, sending it off to Timothy. Already he's rubbing his hands together, you know, we're sort of ready to do the paneling and all that. We're going to try and keep it sensible and, you know, keep it to 22. If we go slightly up because we need to, fair enough. You know, I'm happy with that. But yeah, you know, yes, I know. I like a challenge. I'm naturally ambitious. If I'm not doing 101 things all at the same time, I guarantee you I'll start getting sort of bored within the next nanosecond.
Now you're at the point where you're onto this second issue already. How much of it has changed during the process where you've learned being on these shows? Because especially being on shows, talking out loud, we quietly figure something out and we'll write down a mental note or we'll write it down on a piece of paper because we're explaining something. We suddenly realize something deeper about the character. Have you experienced a lot of that?
Oh, absolutely. I think what it's done, because I've talked about the story so much with people, it's really helped me focus on the key aspects of the story, what it's really all about. Because when you start out, you've got all these ideas in your head, and then it's like, okay, but what is it about, you know? And it's like doing the 2-minute sort of elevator pitch. It, you know, initially I was like, oh, I can't do this because I'm like so into the story. I've got like a million different stories going on in my head that I couldn't quite sort of come to grips with the key elements. So with this, you know, sort of along the way, it's really helped me focus. What is it really about, you know? And you know, Ava is basically set in a post-apocalyptic world, and you know, it's all about Facebook becoming, you know, the government, and we're all under surveillance. You know, your timeline now it's not up to you what you put on your timeline. Automatically, everything gets put on there. And, you know, sort of there's no more police. So it's all very, especially with what's going on with the lockdown and the riots, you know, it's really kind of helped me sort of drive, like home in on the key aspects of the story. And that's going to really help polish the second issue. And again, also her character initially, you know, like I had her in my head. You know, I'm a big fan of Aeon Flux. I absolutely love her. And, you know, I wanted to do my own feisty version of Aeon Flux, but, you know, sort of set in my own world and with my own story. And then it was a case of, I remember along the way, you know, we talked about sort of Deadpool and the idea of having potty mouth, you know, and then also Black Mirror, the idea that came, because I remember I was talking to my mentor and he mentioned watching Black Mirror. And then it was all these things that I just felt like it was just helping me fine tune everything. And now I can sit and write, and, you know, sort of when people ask me what it's about, I know exactly what it's all about, where it's going. Yeah, you know, I'm a lot more confident, you know, doing my pitches now, which is great.
And there's definitely that moment where you start to know things about the character that you don't even share with people, but someone will randomly ask you and you just have the answer right at the tips of your finger. And you're like, oh yeah, this is the way she deal with it. Yeah. Because they come alive in your actual mind. So it's fast. One day we'll all come up with like these facts you never knew about my character book and make it like an anthology. So, you know, random stuff us writers have thought about. So you've had huge success with this. Almost 100 backers since your campaign has actually left.
Yeah.
Almost at 100.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I mean, it was nerve-wracking when I was trying to meet the target, because I set too high a target. But then, you know, I just thought, okay, hopefully we'll get there. I kept saying we'll get there, stay positive. But in the same time, I was biting my nails. And then once we reached there, it's fine. You know, I think I was comfort eating, so I've gained a bit of weight from the stress. But like now, it's nice. I'm just doing these shows, really just getting the word out there, and it's comfortable because at the end of the day, there's only so much you can say about your project, but it's the actual work. And I'm really hoping that once the comic goes into circulation, then it will also gain momentum as well from word of mouth, things like that. So yeah, it's an exciting journey. And it's really nice that I've been able to meet so many other creatives in a similar situation, and also veterans as well, which I'm in total awe of, like yourself. And and it's been a really good positive experience. I've just really loved having the community, especially during the lockdown, because I've been working from home for 8 years now. And that's one thing I do miss about working, is the interaction with other people. So this has been really, really great, really positive experience.
Yeah, once you're in the middle of a campaign, like we were talking behind the scenes, we do so much with Indie Vault and Geek Insider. We've gotten to the point where we're used to the pandemic going on.
Yeah.
And we've got accustomed to talking to each other through videos. So like when people want to come hang out, especially on the news, it's like seeing your friend and you're just catching up, but on a live stream. So the jokes have to wait till we go off air, and then the rest is fine to talk about publicly. So you're right. It's nice to be able to do this. So you have to have people coming out of the woodwork now asking to either work with you or work or pick your brain, right? Like you've now become the rain bearer, because look, she got a successful Indiegogo. How'd she do that? I'm sure you have a lot of people asking questions. How is it to suddenly be known in an industry that you were an unknown just 6 months ago?
Initially it was really, initially it was unsettling. I think that was literally the day after I launched. I went on Facebook and tried to sort of open myself up to the community. I went about it the wrong way. I think I befriended people who had no interest in comics whatsoever. And then I was like, what have I done? And now it's, you feel like you're part of a family. And it's a really, it's kind of like, you go into a boardroom and then everyone knows each other and everyone knows each other's work. And it's a really nice feeling, actually. I think it's really helped me, because I was just getting really down with all the lockdown, and it's nice to have your work out there and people recognize you for your work and have that satisfaction and fulfillment from sort of having that sense of achievement. So I'm really appreciative of all the positive feedback and, everyone embracing sort of the hard work that we put into this project. I know Timothy's really over the moon. I keep trying to sort of pull him out of the woodworks, trying to get him to do one of these shows. But he's like, he's very camera shy. But so I speak for him. So yeah, he's really looking forward to, sort of to getting on to do issue 2. I mean, if you see his work, it's just really amazing. So it's been an absolute joy to work with him. And yeah.
And it's funny because no one understands how much work you've gone through to get to this moment. They're just suddenly joining you and it's done. And look how awesome this is. I'm about to get my book. So the next question always comes, well, will the next book be out in like 3 months? And they're just like, right? It's just you're gonna have it next week, right?
Oh. I know, I wish. Yeah, no, I think once Pop said, oh, yeah, ideally, like you guys need to be like pulling out an issue every month. And I'm like, everyone starts panicking, like an issue every month. It's, I think if you're the illustrator, then potentially you could do that if you don't, and especially if you don't have kids to look after as well. I'm definitely hoping like 2-3 months, the next issue will be out, because we've already done the background work, the development. We know already we have the development sketches for the other world, and so it's all there. So it's not going to take as long. And yeah, I know it took us so long to get here, but everything's now set up. I think it's a bit like the house. It takes a long time to create the foundations, and then once you've done that, the rest is picks up really quickly.
So now the one thing that we all have, because we're writers, So as writers, we make this story, suddenly there's a new story that creeps in our head. Has that begun to happen? Is there a different story you now have in your head that you want to tell?
I mean, like I do. There are, as a writer, I always have like simultaneous projects on, and there was like another comic that I was thinking about doing, but it was like something more along the lines of witchcraft, and but like I'm trying not to get into it just yet. And I'm also thinking about writing a novel about my experience of being a widow, and but I want to do it in a very sort of dark comedy style. So it's a bit like Sex and the City, but a lot darker, you know, and more sort of kind of sardonic and kind of like a, you know, sort of, you know, when I know sort of you've had a personal sort of loss in your life, you become a bit more sort of sensitive to the world and what's out there. Like you pick up on things that the average person wouldn't pick up on. And, you know, so the main character is a bit like that. You know, she's become a bit more of an observer rather than somebody participating in the world. So that's some of the other projects that I'm working on. I did have another one which to do with more the fashion industry, and it was entitled Rags to Bitches. So because when you put about at least 5 women in a room, yeah, at some point the claws will come out.
No comment. I have no comment for everything she said, other than I like the title and I would like to see that.
Because I was speaking to somebody, and they're in HR, and they said, yeah, I do not put like a room of women all together. I have to diffuse it by sticking a man in. At least one guy to just, you know, keep things, you know, sort of chilled, or like, you know, sort of you know, like not let things get seriously. The opinions expressed in
the following broadcast, not necessarily those of Indie Bolt Media LLC. Your discretion is advised.
Oh, good. Am I saying something controversial here?
I can't even answer that because I get in trouble. You can't answer it.
No. See, I'm speaking from experience, you know, because Pops is having sort of traumatic flashbacks from ladies' night. Yeah, no. In my experience of working in the fashion industry, things do get a little bit political, and yes, you know, and territorial. You know, so I am speaking from personal experience.
Still no comment.
Oh, I love it. I can't believe Ines got the PSA. Yeah, I know. I blame this on Christy. She brings out the worst in people in a really good way.
Yeah, Christy's an amazing creator too. So you're now part of this industry. What is the books that you are now experiencing that you're like, wow, those are pretty good? I never knew. Because I've always noticed when creators come in, the first thing they realize is what everyone else is creating, because by default you get involved in it and you're like, oh my God, I never knew this was here.
Yeah.
So what are a couple of books that you've seen and that you've been blown away by as you've entered into this?
I mean, sort of, I've backed a few projects, sort of Anthony Figaro and Is It God's Hand? Just trying to remember. Do you know what it is? I have, and yours as well, which was Cat Dad and Supermom. I like how it's behind you. I'm so terrible at remembering things. I have been so in touch with like trying to get the comic out that I've got a whole list of comics to read. So, and there's, I'm just trying to think now. Just what else?
You
get back to you on that. What's that?
You get overwhelmed. There's so many great books. You wish.
No, there is. There's so many Kickstarter and Indiegogo campaigns on at the moment, and I've supported I think about 4. And I just, you know, because I just thought they were really great. I'm just trying to remember which ones they were. That's so bad. In my defense, I have been staring at my proofreading for the past few days. So,
Oh,
yeah.
you're probably exhausted and can't even remember half the things.
I can't remember half the things. Yes, that's so true.
So now this weekend, you're going to be part of the indie event, and Meredith is actually coming in to talk about it right now.
Oh, very good. Hello, Meredith. How are you?
Oh, my God.
Thank you for saving my bacon.
So what's going on this weekend, Meredith?
Give me 1 second because I have to mute the other screen.
Oh, the other screen's being loud?
Yeah.
6 more days to go for Mojo. And Pops, you got to put the link in the comment. If you don't put the link, no one knows what you're talking about, man. Help yourself out. Drop that link. For those who don't know, Mojo Rising is on Kickstarter right now. I'm actually looking to see if I can get the link for him because I saw it go up. So I'm working on it, Pops. You ready?
I am ready. All right, you guys. So I am Meredith Loughran. I am the project coordinator and keeper of the calendar for Indie Event that is happening this weekend. I can't believe it's Friday. That means it starts tomorrow. And I am touching base with a whole bunch of people today to make sure that they send me their YouTube link so that I can add it to the playlist. We're going to be adding that to the website. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have Clever Title Pending with Russ Explode and Brian K. Morris. I don't think anybody's exploding, but you never know. You never know with these things. I'm confirming with Roland Mann with Silverline Comics. We've got Chuck Pinot with Chuck's Raw Versations. Luke Stone is going to be here, probably talking about hybrids, undoubtedly. And then I am really excited because Ennis is going to be sitting with me, Mog Park, and Daphne Lage. And we're just going to have girl talk on comics and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, we're going to be sharing out what their projects are going, their projects that are happening. And I'm actually, before our panel is going to be Rob Anderson sitting with Gamal Hennessy. So I'm really excited about that. Lots of information this weekend. Lots of selling, I hope, because what we're doing on Sunday is we're inviting a bunch of people to come in. We're going to have some QR codes that are going to be directed to their site so that they can buy directly or really support a campaign. So if you've got an Indiegogo, if you've got a Kickstarter, if you've got a Patreon page, if you've got a website store, if you've got an Amazon store, wherever it is that your books are that people can buy directly from you, when you are on the program, we're going to be flashing your QR code. And I don't know, Rob, you going to wear a shirt? Maybe Rob will flash us too, just so the girls will have a little fun.
Randy has told me I'm not allowed on Indie Vault without a shirt. Like, he made this new rule. Everyone can blame Randy. I would totally
Randy, why do you have to kill
I've still got the image person, permanently, sketched in my brain.
You know what? I think that's somewhere it's on the internet. We can do a screenshot and just make a meme. Anyway, us girls being naughty. But so yeah, and I'm going to try
Rob on ladies' night.
and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and
come on, Rob.
But I am going to try and get Ennis to do a little bit more Valley Girl because oh my god, it was so much fun.
I need to watch Clueless. While you were on there, I went through my emails and I shall tell you who I have supported. It's in addition to God's Hands by Anthony Figueroa, it's The Agency by Ruben Romero, Nightwolf, Urban Fantasy, Robert A. Moltari, and The Capable by Jonathan Hedrick. There you go.
Okay.
That's me redeeming myself.
Well, it's hard. I mean, especially you read other books. Like, as creators, we share each other's works with each other. So I'm sure you've had a couple people be like, "Hey, why don't you check out my work too?"
Yeah.
Stuff.
I think it's just because I've had I promised everyone that I'd get it all sent out in August. That I've done nothing but sort of just work on my project, and I've got all these to actually read. So you know, it's because when I saw their projects, I thought, wow, they look really good. So I'm now in for a treat. I have to say, I did actually binge watch The Boys on Amazon Prime. I couldn't stop. Initially, it was really shocking, and then I just couldn't stop watching it. It was one episode after the other, and I did it in less than 24 hours. And yeah, that was a nice break.
Well, I'm going to cut out of here. I just wanted to break in and let you guys know Indie Event is happening this weekend. Go to INDEEVENT right here. I have the link here. It has FAQs. It has the Saturday schedule of events. I am updating the Sunday cell blocks as we speak, and I'm chasing down people. Don't make me chase after you.
Yeah, she really will. She's constantly yelling at me to talk to other people. Uh-oh, Randy's there. I have my shirt on, Randy. I have my shirt on.
And you
Randy,
throw me right on. As soon as I walk in, you throw me right on. What about
I thought you were coming to yell at me. Never mind. You didn't hear what we said. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, what did you say?
I was
Nothing. We said nothing. There was nothing.
I was totally going to out him. The girls were trying to get him to take his shirt off.
Oh, okay.
And I told him the rule. I told him, Randy said, no, you can't come on any stream without a shirt.
But Indie Bolt Radio, they're not going to see you. This is for like the viewers. You have to go to YouTube.
We're trying to encourage a YouTube audience, Meredith.
There you go.
That's a good way of encouraging a YouTube audience.
Girls, right? I got $1 here somewhere.
I know you.
Yeah,
I know you cover. I didn't mean to interrupt. I really didn't. And I know you cover regular comics news, Rob. I just wanted to point out, in case you haven't already, that today would have been Jack Kirby's birthday. He would have been 103.
Wow, look at that. No, I actually did not know that about Jack Kirby's birthday. Thank you for bringing that up. And while you're here,
August 28th, we should make it a holiday amongst our comic community as Kirby Day. So,
and speaking of birthdays, my sister's birthday's today. I want to wish her a happy birthday. I know she watches these programs. You guys are seeing her at the table with me. She's come out. She does a lot behind the scenes to help me, including watching the crazy demon known as Jax, who runs around the house. So I appreciate her. So yeah, today's got to be Jack Kirby Day.
Yeah, ought to be a regular occasion, to tell you the truth. August 28th.
I'm never going to forget that now because it's my sister's birthday, and I'll always know it. Like, my birthday is with Vince McMahon, the guy who runs WWE. How cool is that? Like, I just see him. I'm like, I'm just like him. I can do the power walk. It's a birthday thing.
There you go. I have the same birthday as Sting, but I don't know if that counts.
My birthday is New Year's Eve. Everybody celebrates.
But I was born on the day that the pilot episode aired for Twilight Zone.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's big. That's huge.
On the day. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to run, Rob. I just popped out. Sunday, yeah. Sunday Funnies. I need to send you that.
Is it in the other room?
Huh?
Did you upload it in the other room?
No, I haven't yet. I sent it to Meredith, then I sent it to Varian, and Meredith luckily caught a bad spelling error. So that I corrected.
I can upload that. I can upload that. Yep. I'm going to.
Make sure you upload the correct one then, so I don't look like a complete idiot.
I deleted the bad one, Randy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to head out.
So
I'm
did
going to
I,
go
by
to
the
the
way.
green room, and you guys have really enjoy the rest of your show.
Yeah, hey, it's Sunday, 9 a.m. I do a little Sunday Funnies thing where we talk about the lighter side of comics, the less realistic and angst-ridden side of comics. We want to cover a lot of different things. Funny animal books, those teen funny books, the comic strip comics, and even comic strips, and the more adventurous and just fun things about comics instead of everybody all, angst-ridden and full of emotional dismay.
I think we have at least the banner, don't we, in the other room?
I can throw it up here, Rob.
Yeah, throw up the banner in the room so we can show it off. It's a great show. I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to watch it yet?
Oh, we just started.
No, I'm talking to Ines. Did you get to watch the show, the Sunday Funnies, yet?
No, I haven't. Sorry.
It's 9 a.m. So it's actually 9 a.m. Eastern. So you could actually watch it and not be in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's good. You're really selling it.
There you go.
It's an easier time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Brilliant.
a pretty good show. A lot of great guests have so far been on it. It's been one episode in, and the first one just took away. I love the energy that it has, because how often do we just sit around and talk about comics that are even good for our kids?
Yeah. No,
That's
definitely.
real true. Yeah.
And I mean, with the industry and the way it is, and now one of the news program things we have for today, we'll quickly go over the news. Fortnite and Marvel have teamed up together. How exciting is that?
That's really exciting, especially considering that's all my kids have done for the entire summer holiday.
Well, season 4 is apparently out.
Oh, yes, they have already informed me. I didn't even realize there was a season 1, 2, and 3.
Neither did I. It didn't become news to me until today. And I used to play games. I now make comics instead of games. It's that choice. Like you said, The Boys, when you did it, it was like taking a break. It was like, ooh, I'm calling in sick for my own creative work, right? I don't have time for video games. I do movies and stuff. But that made me want to go over my nephew's house and go play Fortnite with him.
Yeah,
so I can do all the Marvel characters.
Yeah, no, definitely. I need to have a go at this, but my daughter's apparently really good, so I've been told. And what was it? I remember sort of I think it was her friend shouting at my son. It's like, we're not going to save you if you don't pick up your weapons. I was like, oh, charming.
You're going to die. You're going to die because you didn't pick up your own damn weapon.
It's like, we're not coming back for you if you're just not, you're not going to pull you away.
And you got to admit, you're kind of proud of your kids because they're determining, like, we need rules in this chaos. So that's good.
I absolutely love the nice thing about it, you're not just playing a game, it's about the interaction and the communication and the teamwork. So there's a lot of positive takes to be taken from the game. Apart from when my mum-in-law points out, all she can see is just like people shooting at each other. And she says that she's told me maybe one day when you tell them they're not going to get what they want, they're going to end up shooting you. I was like, yeah, let's not go there. I don't. This is the whole Grand Theft Auto thing again. They're not going. It's just a game.
That's when you look at her and say,
"That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works."
That's what you do.
Oh yeah.
Now, speaking of footage, Randy, did you see we have some footage for you now? I'm
really glad Meredith found it. She found it much faster than I did. I was searching my hard drive and couldn't cover the right file. I could throw it in a file that I have to search for. So, thanks, Meredith. Thank you so much for throwing that in there.
And we're going to go ahead and play this amazing footage.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there. Thanks for running that, Rob. Appreciate it.
I'm a huge fan of that because, of course, I create family-friendly content, and maybe one day Ines will, but right now she's not. It's not really family-friendly.
I've still got a few issues to get off my chest.
Yeah, there we go.
They're not always politically correct, as we've already established.
No one starts family-friendly. Like, every creator does not go down family-friendly. I have a kid's book, or I have the really violent book. I'm going with the violent book.
Yes, it's like the two sides of a coin.
I'll get the kid's book.
We're all multifaceted people, so.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I'm looking forward. I'm actually going to get my son to read your comic because I so enjoyed it, especially the Elephants. And it had such a really lovely moral story to it all, because one thing I can't stand is when people get preachy, but this one is just so beautifully written and illustrated, and you don't, you know that there's like a lesson to be learned, and you wish, sort of that you could have read that when you were a kid and you were being kind of bullied, So kudos to you. Absolutely brilliant work. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support and the kind words. Even Randy said nice things about it, which blew me away.
Yeah. I love the elephants, you know.
No, I mean that seriously, because Randy's like one of those guys you look up to in this industry.
Yeah.
And he saw it, and he's like, "This is actually really good quality."
Yeah, no, it is really good quality. I just love the dinner lady with the elephant mask on.
I'm glad my camera's not on, Rob, because my face is totally red.
Oh, that was me before. I had that same problem on this show today.
I'm not going to ask why it's red.
Oh, well, you guys were all encouraging me to take a shirt off. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I now know how every woman feels. I'm sorry on behalf of men.
It's just so nice to sort of, you know, see the flip side.
My AC was broken. My AC was broken.
Do you know, can I just say, I went, let's just say, let's be clear about this. My mom dragged me to ladies' night. This was during the Me Too, the whole Me Too shebang, right? And I'm telling you, it was just really awkward because there were some women that just completely oblivious to what was going on in the world. And, you know, there was these blokes walking around and I just felt really, really like, you know, you need to ask permission before you touch the merchandise. Yeah. And there were some women that weren't doing that. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, veering off.
But I've told this story.
Are you going to get the PSA on now again?
No. You know what? It's in all fairness, it you know, we're all humans, and I'm not shy about. Obviously, with what I've created, I'm not shy about sexuality. It is funny though, because that's really a moment where, like, I was just trying to do my job in a very bad situation, and it was the comments.
It was completely innocent.
Yeah, and it was the comments from the men that were more harsh and alarming than the women. The men were like, "Ooh, baby, can I come over tonight?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, people who were like, I had inbox messages like, "When are you starting My Fans Only?" I'm like, "Dude, what is up with you?" And it's like the most straight-laced creators, like literally inboxing me, like having a rib at me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what did I do?" And I went back, I looked at it, 500 views. I'm like, "Really? Wasn't that interesting?"
You should do more of it. You're getting 500 views. No, I did. I remember when I used to commute in London on the Underground, the second it just got a little bit warmer, I just felt like, and people were wearing less clothes. All of a sudden, I just noticed, I noticed personally, the male side of the population would be a little bit more, you know, flirtatious, you know. So maybe that's something in there. The heat got to them, and plus, you know,
it's still okay. I don't even know what to say. Me Too has ruined my brain. I now think I'm not allowed to say anything.
I think, yeah. I think we may have gone a little bit too far. You know, so from personal experience, I've had issues with, you know, with my bosses. Just a couple. I mean, the majority have been fine. You know, I just had two events that basically made I just quit my job straight away because I didn't feel like I was in a safe environment anymore. But then, you know, you don't want it to go to complete an extreme where you have to be careful what you say, you know. So it's
itself over time. It's necessary right now. Look, I don't mind if I have to cross the street when a group of hot girls is coming. I just do it to be safe. I cross the street. I don't try to get involved in it. I don't want any Me Too movements. I keep my head down. I follow the rules. I don't engage. If they come around me, I try to run.
Yeah. Do you know, what was it? Like, because when there was the whole sort of equality thing going on, and I was like, you know what? I live in an area where I hardly see any other woman other than myself mowing the lawn. If people want equality, why do I not see, you know, any other women sort of mowing the lawn? Then my next door neighbor, I caught her mowing her lawn, and I said, kudos to you. That's so good. You know, like, you're showing, you know, you're not just talking about equality, you're actually doing it. She's like, yeah, my husband was moaning that he's hurt his back, so now I'm forced to do it. I'm like, okay, well, It's fine as long as I don't feel like I'm the only one on the street mowing my own lawn.
So close to equality, but no, I'm doing it because I have to. And in fairness, that is equality. That's exactly how every man feels. I'm doing it because I have to. Most men would be fine with the jungle outside. I'll be honest. You can find the single guy house by just driving by and seeing the overgrown grass.
Oh yeah. No, one time I did test out my late husband. I said to him, "Okay, when are you going to mow the lawn?" Because I thought I'd just leave it to him to do. And I was watching this grass just grow and grow and grow, and it became like a foot high. And I just looked at it, and he was watching soccer, and he'd fallen asleep on the couch. And I thought, you know what, I just waited and waited, has had enough. So I went out there, and I couldn't even get the mower on the lawn because it was so high. I had to sit there with scissors cutting it and then mowing it. And when I came back in, it was a hot day. I was just so annoyed with it. A cushion may have flew across the room.
See, I'll be honest. When I know someone's watching, I can get the pillow thrown at me. I would definitely do it faster. I'd be like, I have to do it, or she'll kill me.
Obviously, my death glares weren't convincing enough.
Sometimes you got to just break a toe just to show them you're serious.
Oh yeah.
You know, them very, very, very honestly, and be like, "You caused this," and just walk away.
I can't believe you. It's like, oh. No, this one time he wanted me to do the ironing, and while he was watching the game, so I was like, I brought the ironing board down. I brought the iron there. I was like, there you go. You can multitask now. Yay! And I walked off.
Lance Footer, by the way, said he'd love to draw a cover for you. He's an amazing artist.
Oh, brilliant. Yes. No, so I'm always happy to, sort of work with other creators and illustrators. That'd be great. Yeah, we'll talk later.
Yeah, it's interesting because now you're at that point where you've hit. People are going to want to do covers with you. You have them coming to you. It's always nicer when you've successfully funded something. Like the minute you successfully fund, people come looking to work with you because now you've got it. You've got the golden, shine around you, and people are going to be part of that for a while. And it's always great because you get to meet such great creators.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I think so. Definitely, when you're starting out, it's so hard to get the momentum going, and then once you do get going, everything starts to get a whole lot easier. Wow, that is really good.
Yeah, that's their crossover right there. You can see the characters from Fortnite.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to be doing covers for it too, just to show everyone, like Venom and all that. And it's amazing to see the crossover.
Yeah.
Continue. I'm just showing it to you, showing everyone as we're running out of time today.
Yeah. No, it's nice because when you have kids, it's like you almost have like a second childhood, and you're exposed to things that you wouldn't otherwise be exposed to, especially sort of with young children's literature, and also like with the the Marvel heroes, those things. Otherwise, I would not, I would not have been as exposed to it, especially Fortnite, which.
And isn't it amazing when you have a kid and you're like, well, why don't you just watch Iron Man #2? Because I said that to my son, and I just realized, oh my God, he's never seen Iron Man #2. And you want to sit down and watch the reaction because it's the first time they're seeing a movie that you just taken for granted because you saw over a decade ago.
Oh, absolutely. I think I remember having that feeling when I was watching Back to the Future with my kids, and I was like, listen, you are going to so love this film. And I was like, it was like watching it through their eyes and being a kid again. And it was like watching it for the first time again. And it's great. Like I said, it's like a second childhood,
And we do want to just quickly acknowledge that, I don't know if you knew this, Scott Snyder, he's the writer behind Batman. They have a Kickstarter. They renamed their Kickstarter. And I thought it was pretty cool because he talks about it being part of the entire creative process, and how when he's creating something, someone as polished as him is saying during this campaign, the changes they're making are all part of the process of creation. How cool is that to see someone as established as that change the name and go, hey, this is what happens when you're in comics. You change names, you learn as you go. I thought that was a great message.
Oh, sorry, I was interrupting you. I was just saying, speaking of changing names, originally when I started out, I was calling Ava, but I did actually start out as Ava, and then I thought, okay, maybe the way it's spelled, it should be Iva. But then, and after saying it so many times, I've gone back to Ava. So, you know, that was something that you do feed off other people. And also the feedback you get from people, you know, so you do actually develop it along with your fans and get feedback from them.
And that's some amazing art by Carlos Villas, who's actually done work with me on my campaigns.
That's beautiful.
Well. He's amazing. He's someone that you need a cover, like, let me know. He would do amazing work with your property.
Yeah.
He really.
Wow.
That is a fantastic piece of art.
Yeah,
that is gorgeous.
It looks human. Like, I mean, you look at it, like, is that a real demon? You start to wonder. Okay, guys, time to wrap up. Let's go around the room. Tell everyone where they can find us. Here we go. Ladies first, of course.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. So I'm Ines Iskander. I'm the writer and creator of Ava. I currently have an in-demand project on Indiegogo. You can also find me under Ava Comic on Instagram and Facebook, and also Twitter, which I'm still trying to get my head around.
And Randy?
Hey, I'm Randy Zimmerman. Rob, I apologize for popping in.
Anytime.
I hate it when people do that. The last 10 minutes, just have to jump in. But,
you're always welcome.
Happy Kirby Day. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter. I do twit sometimes under Randy Zim. And at the Zim Geek channel, here on YouTube, where I teach cartoon instructional and every once in a while talk about comics history. And you can also find me on the Indie Volt podcast Tuesday nights at 9 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and on the Sunday Funnies program that I host on Sunday at 9 a.m.
And we're going to show a video on our way out today for our Terraform comics. We have Hybrids, the Sons of God, so we're going to show that trailer. It's a real quick one. And then we'll come in and say, Meredith, you coming to say goodbye in between this? I know she's still in the background. So I'll play this, and we'll see if Meredith will come in and say goodbye.
New from Terraform COMiX, Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, Volume 1, Trash Day. When everyday people develop godlike abilities, it is up to a small band of heroes to expose an evil superhuman trafficking ring. This 128-page volume merges history with fiction in an exciting, fast-paced adventure. Get your copy now.
All right, let's see. Meredith. She would say, make sure that you guys join the indie event right now. I have a little bit of a promo piece. Here we go. That's going to be the 29th and the 30th. All the cool people in the room are going to be part of it. And I am out of here for the weekend. Any last things that we have all of 2 minutes to basically do? Make sure you go check out Indiegogo. When is that live to? Your Indiegogo, Ines?
It's indefinite, so it's just going to carry on going until people get bored of it.
I doubt that will happen. I only see things coming. Excited to get my copy as well. Randy, any quick ending anecdotal notes before we go?
No, I can't wait to get my copy of Ava 2. So just waiting.
It'll be with you soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they've gone back, lettered it. It's going to be high quality stuff. Super excited about it. Thank you for being on the show today. This is creators like you make this show awesome, so we get to sit and talk about the creative process, and it really adds to the news aspect of it. And especially on Fridays, you'll be seeing more creators like this. You all have an open invite anytime you want to talk about something. Even if you just want to come hang out in the news. I'm trying to get Ines to play backer pause. We want to see, because I think Ines has got a little bit of an evil streak to her, so I think she'd hit pause. She would just be like, I'm sorry, but that bored me. You're done. You're the weakest link. If I can get her to say you're the weakest link every time she talks.
Oh, no.
Do you want me to do it in my strict, head teacher voice?
Yes, please.
I need to practice it first.
You'll have some time. We're going to get her on. We're going to play the show. And you'll probably see her a lot more because this is an honest, easy time for her to be on the show, unlike when we have to put her up and it's the middle of the night and she's drinking coffee and here it's 3 a.m.
Fighting to stay awake.
Yeah. Thank you for being on the show. Meredith, any last words? Oh, Meredith, shut up. Real quick, Meredith. You have 20 seconds.
IndieVent.com. Go visit. Make sure that you visit us. Follow the playlist. Join in and have a lot of fun. Indie Vault, yeah.
Yeah, and Geek Insider, you know, the other place you work for.
Yeah, them too. Geek Insider.